That was a bit of Desiree with You Gotta Be. And then before that was Foxes, taken off her new EP that was called Love Not Loving You. Now it's time to meet this week's Woman of the Week. And this week it's singer, songwriter and The Voice UK 2021 contestant Sami Nathan. Sami made it through to the battles round of The Voice UK this year, and she got onto Team Tom Jones, where she wowed us with her incredible, powerful and soulful voice. She's actually been in the music industry for quite a few years now. She was a songwriter and still is for other artists, and she's written over 500 songs in her career. But now she's writing songs for herself and back with a new single called Older With You, which I'll be playing a little bit later. I'll be chatting to her for the next half an hour on Gorgeous FM, but I wanted to start off the chat by asking her how her life has been since coming off The Voice UK.
It's really good. I feel like I've got I've always got a fire up my bottom, but at the moment it's just obviously coming off the back of The Voice. Like I really feel the pressure to drop more and more material, which, as I'm sure, people might not be aware, it's not the easiest thing to do budget wise. I mean, that's the music's all there. I've got albums and albums and albums worth, and it's just about logistically getting things out. So that's what's taking up all of my time right now.
Can you talk to me about where your love and passion for music came from? Like, what are your earliest music memories?
Do you know, it's I have such a lost, clouded memory of my childhood, where it's it's quite blurry, and I've sort of bumped into babysitters before that have told me that I forced them to listen to my talent shows, but I don't remember any of that really. I remember my mum having records. We had my uncle handed her down a record player. I don't know if she took it off when he passed away, but there's a lot of records that my family have that get passed around, between my cousins and handed out and stuff. Yeah, so I think I always had those sort of musical influences, a lot of big band stuff, a lot of sort of soul, disco was about, but no one in my family is particularly musical. So I think it was, maybe it was just escapism for me. I used to bunk off all my lessons and just hang out in the music rooms, playing the piano, writing awful songs and getting ready to write good songs.
Do you remember the first song you ever wrote?
Yeah, I think the main lyric was, I don't know what to do about this feeling.
So was it a little bit kind of like emo, like what we were all going through all those teenage years?
Emo. I used to have this diary that was a leather, and I'd not even leather, it was recycled tyres or something, and I'd write my deepest, darkest in red and black.
I hope Sami, little Sami, was okay. I always feel like I want to reach out to her and be like, are you okay, hun? Do you need help?
Yeah. I just remember it was always just a very isolated thing that I did on my own, because I didn't music in my school in particular was just so intellectual, history. It was not music at all, and I tried to do it for GCSE and I just absolutely hated it. I was like, I don't want to learn about the history of music and Mozart, and I just wanted to make music. And I remember even going to some piano lessons and stuff, and in primary school they kind of let me lie my way through the grades, because I was just playing by ear, because I didn't want to read the music, I just wanted to play the piano. But yeah, I never connected with that educational side of music. So yeah, just sort of go in there. I don't think music teachers particularly like me.
Sometimes you've got to do that, not all musicians sort of great at music reading, but you found your way, and now you're here. What a great kind of journey you've been on so far. When did you realise that you had this massive kind of soulful, powerful voice? I think you sound a little bit like Anastasia / Joss Stone. That's the only people I can think of.
Literally, I do get the Anastasia thing quite a bit, and that is really the first time that I sang was that song, was I'm Out of Love. funny. Yeah, I get quite a lot of comparisons sometimes, but I think yeah, I don't know. I think it took me a long time to find my own sound, because I obviously signed as a writer first, so I was writing for other people and I was vocaling. You know, if you write a song that you want Rihanna to sing, you've got to kind of sing it like Rihanna, and so I got really, really good at doing that. And actually there's one song yesterday that I wanted to revocal, because I wrote it for someone that didn't speak English, and it was like very half, you know, me and her singing, and I want to pitch it out, and I've almost forgotten this demo like R&B voice that I used to put on. Like I don't know if I can sing like other people. I'm sure I can, but it's funny. I feel like I really took some time out from writing for other people, specifically to solidify this sound, to write with musicians, not write with other people in mind. And you know, as much as that's a skill in itself, I wanted to perfect my artistry, and now I have. Don't know if I could go back, but yeah, it's a funny one. It's a funny one finding your voice.
So your favourite woman in music that you've chosen, Miss Baby Soul, she was on The Voice like last year, wasn't she?
She was. She's a really good friend of mine, and she's just so awesome. She's got a new song coming out on the 16th as well, and I gave you a video because she did this version at the Royal Albert Hall a couple of weeks ago. I'm losing track of days and times, don't know what's happening. But it's just gorgeous. She's absolutely gorgeous. And she has a stage presence that is just something else.
Oof, her voice. That is the awesome voice of Miss Baby Soul. That's She Cries on Gorgeous FM. And that was taken from the session that she did for Wow Sounds. Oh my goodness, I can see why Sami Nathan loves her. And that song was chosen by this week's Woman of the Week, Sami Nathan. And before appearing on The Voice UK this year, Sami was a songwriter, writing tunes for artists all over the world. And I'm fascinated by the work of songwriters and what it's like to be one. So I really wanted to ask Sami how she got into it and why she loves making a great song.
I don't know where it came from, but it was very natural to me to write. But I think when you're younger and you first start writing, like it comes from somewhere inside. You want to write because you feel things and you want to express yourself, and I guess you get to do it whenever you feel like it. But writing 500 songs, like, you know, when I signed my publishing deal, I wrote a song a day for 7 years, pretty much, if not sometimes 2 in a day. And that really just drums in the skill, really. And it definitely becomes like a job. Like, it's not fun writing every song. It's like, you know, you might love writing books, but, you know, sometimes you hit a brick wall and you've just got to stay until it comes out, or you throw it away. But I mean, you know, normally there is a way out at the other side of the song if you just keep going. So yeah, I guess it really taught me the discipline and like, you know, and when you write so much, I personally wouldn't like to do it anymore. Like I prefer to write one a week, or, you know, one when I'm more on that kind of when I feel like it again. You know, if you set up a session and you're in the studio, you know, you want to get your song done. But I sort of now I prefer, especially if I'm writing for myself, I like to just write what feels right. At the moment, I'm writing about 20 songs at the same time, and it's driving me mad, and I can't finish any of them. But that's because I'm busy doing admin stuff and making sure that the cogs are going to turn in the right way for the next singles and stuff. But yeah, I just I love writing songs. I love writing clever songs. I like writing heartfelt songs. I like writing, you know, I constantly come up with ideas of, you know, funny wordplay and stuff like that.
What would you say are like the kind of main ingredients to a great song?
There's lots of factors, really. It depends what the goal is. I mean, you know, I think a lot of stuff on major radio stations, like there's at the moment, I think people like something very familiar. You know, if you're writing like a dance record or something, people just want to latch onto it, and it's almost something that you could have heard before, but it's fresh in some way and it's got something new. For my stuff, I like a really classic sound for myself, so I tend to like pick melodies that are very classic, but then I feel like my writing's got a bit more of a modern sort of take on it. But I tend to be less purposefully catchy, or, you know, when I write songs for other people, I tend to think of something really clever that no one's ever heard before, and, you know, it's you know, not necessarily as personal as my own stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What made you kind of want to go over to the artist side rather than being a songwriter? Was there something inside you that thought, I want to have a crack at this? Like, what was it?
I love to sing, really. That's the main reason. But I always wanted to do the artist thing. I didn't know what any of it meant when I signed a publishing deal. I just got the offers, and then I was like, my management at the time said, yeah, that's what a good idea. So I was like, okay. So I didn't, I feel like it was for the best, because, you know, I do sometimes wish, you know, there's a lot of music that I've written for myself, potentially, you know, over the years, that wouldn't probably never see the light of day. And part of me is happy that I didn't put them out, because I've now got this sound and I'm ready to make the album, and I feel like it's the right time. But it, you know, sometimes it's a bit sad that they'll never come to light. But yeah, my advice to young people would just be to put everything out, put it out. There's no wrong songs. There's no, you know, but you know, now I'm in a position where I'm a perfectionist and everything's got to be right, and it's, you know, it's different. But when you're younger and you're experimenting with these things, like, you know, sometimes I wish I just went for it and I had a bunch of R&B songs online, but I probably would have pulled them down by now, to be fair.
So the song that we're going to chat about now, In Motion, it's got such a great kind of beat and bop to it. What can you tell me about this song?
This one, I chose to play this song. It was the first sort of full production that I put out in 2019. So I put one song out before it, but it was just a guitar song called Fossilized, and then I put out In Motion. So it was quite a big deal for me. And I feel like this song's about, it was another sort of rebellious act against the structured songwriting that I'd been doing for a long time. And, you know, everything had to be, you know, so cleverly put together lyrically. And this, you know, it was just a really honest song of mine. And it's about sort of my struggles with sort of not being able to move forward and being a bit stuck. So that's what it's about. And it's got that kind of gritty sort of rock edge that I'm going to be going forward with in my next releases as well. So that was another reason why I chose to play this one first.
That's In Motion by Sami Nathan, this week's Woman of the Week here on Gorgeous FM. What a voice she's got. I was trying to riff in the studio along with that, but I can't riff to save my life. I can't sing at all. And during this chat with her, I deleted quite a bit of it out, but I just spent a lot of the time just fangirling over her voice and just being like, when can you teach me to sing, please, Sami? Can I have a few singing lessons? But yeah, maybe my time will come one day. But I will play Sami's latest single, Older With You, in a little while. But she's got so much in the pipeline coming up, and I wanted to see if I could get all the goss.
One thing I can tell you is that the next single is called Weekend, and it's a little bit different for me. It is very high energy, raging with energy, and you know, I'm in the middle of organising the video, which I'm filming in a couple of weeks, and I'm really excited about it because it's going to be the first time that I've really like put across my personality as much as I am, because I am a bit cuckoo and I am a bit nuts, and I think I've played it a bit safe so far with the videos, and I'm really excited just to let loose. There's going to be a few guests in the video and none of them are human.
Oh, I'm excited now. That's really intrigued me. Have you got any plans for an album? I mean, I know you've written loads of songs, but are any of them going to make an album, do you think?
I did want to make an album. I think it's all just a matter of, you know, the next few months are going to be crucial. I am independent at the moment. I'm completely independent, self-funded, and it's just about what my very finite amount of money can afford, because I don't do things by halves. I'm going to look for some sources to help with that, but that's all part of my journey, and that's part of the plan. But at the moment, singles are the plan, but subject to change.
I was actually wondering, because you said way back when you made your first song, you made that kind of like angsty song. What would you say to that Sami back then, if she could see you now?
Oh, I'd say focus, and don't go out partying for the important years.
Sound advice.
Just focus, please. But it's all right. We're focused now.
We're focused, yeah, and I hope you continue to flourish. It's great seeing what you can achieve. What would be like your biggest goal in your music career?
My only goal in my music career is to make money from singing live for the rest of my life, and I think it's an achievable goal. I want to continue doing. I want to do what I'm doing forever. Really, I don't want that to change. So I want to be able to continue writing. To write for myself, write for other people, and to sing.
It's been an absolute joy to chat to you. I just want to kind of finish off by chatting about Older With You.
Yes.
Proper power ballad, proper love song. Like, pulls at your heartstrings a bit, doesn't it?
It was my first ever proper love song that I wrote, I think, that wasn't about a breakup or a heartache or something. There's nothing but the pure love. I mean, I guess that there is a kind of suggestion that it might not always be there, but there's a sort of double meaning to it that I felt when I wrote it. Remember us like this when we're older, remember me like this, because I kind of it's half about potentially losing your partner, or the imagination, the foresight that could happen, and also about your looks fading, and growing older, and just to remember this face just like this. I mean, it was something I wrote it in lockdown. It was the first song in a long time that I'd written on the piano or just on my own, because it's so easy. I love collaborating. I love writing with other people, and often, I'm doing the melody and the lyrics, and I like to bounce off someone on the guitar or on the keys. So, it was really nice just to have no one around to just play on the piano. And I've been writing quite a lot on the piano since lockdown, really. I love it. I think it's. I wanted to write something that people might cherish and walk down the aisle to, and I think it's got potential to reach a lot of people.
Thanks so much for chatting to me today. It's been absolutely awesome, just nerding out about music with you. Just to finish us off, can you, in true radio style, introduce your song Older With You for Gorgeous FM?
Hi Gorgeous FM, I'm Sami Nathan, and this is my latest tune, Older With You.
And old won't feel older with you.
That's Older With You by Sami Nathan, this week's Woman of the Week here on Gorgeous FM. And a little bit of an apologies there, because you will have just heard a little bit of the song that's actually going to come up next. That was definitely not Sami Nathan. I do apologise for that small technical issue. But regardless of that, if you want to follow Sami's journey, you can find her on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. Just search Sami Nathan Music. And just to note, Sami is spelled S-A-M-I. And if you know someone who I should be talking to for next week's Woman of the Week, get in touch. You can tweet us on We Are Gorgeous FM on Twitter and all the other socials that exist. Now, just for a little bit of